What's going on, guys? So I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's about to have a good weekend. It's July 15th, 2022 here in Orlando, the world. um, but I just wanted to give a review on SmackDown for tonight because, like I said, I want to start doing more continuous reviews and going forward more and more. I was doing some thinking about this though. What I think I'm gonna do, especially for Raw and SmackDown, because there's so much filler in Raw and SmackDown. I was originally gonna do them individually, but what I'm gonna end up doing is I'm gonna actually do Raw and then SmackDown, make some notes, and then put those in one video every week. That'll probably release on Saturdays. I just wanted to do something so you guys aren't just watching me talk about really nothing important. Because a lot of the time, let's be honest, like Raw and SmackDown does have a lot of fillers in it. So that's, I think, where I'm going to go with that. And another thing for this channel, because I remember saying on the AW Fighter Fest review that this is going to be a wrestling, how I wanted to go about this channel. The name that I'm thinking for this channel, I'm leaning towards Dustin's Thoughts, something along that lines. And pretty much it's going to be my opinions on certain things. Now, it's not always going to be wrestling. Sometimes it's going to be what's going on in the world. Sometimes it's going to be about where I live in Orlando. It just doesn't, sometimes politics. It really is just whatever's in the mood at that point in time. I just want you guys to get to know me a little bit so you can see me as a person and not just somebody on YouTube trying to get famous or anything stupid like that. So, like I said, from now on, I'm gonna start doing Mondays, Night Raws, and Smackdowns by themselves. But the only reason I'm doing tonight's special just by itself is because SmackDown was in Orlando, so I got to be part of the audience and attendance and got to be there live for it. So I wanted to just kind of break down the event itself, the show, and everything in between. So the show itself I thought was really, and I hate to be a critic because I love professional wrestling, but it was very mediocre. It was, especially going into SummerSlam. Like, we're 2 weeks away from SummerSlam, and it really felt like a filler episode to me. Like, there wasn't a lot of push for progression in the stories to the point where it's going to make me want to just tune in or go to some events, or because I got tickets to SummerSlam, so I'll be going to SummerSlam and making a full review on that one because, like I said, I'll be there for that, and they really try to hype up SummerSlam to be one of the big ones. So the show opened up with Liv Morgan versus Natalia. That match itself, I thought was okay. It wasn't entirely spectacular. I've never been a huge Natalia fan from the beginning, even back in the day, like when she first debuted, moving forward, even when she was just on NXT. So it's hard for me to get into Natty, but I'm a big Liv fan. I really do like Liv. I hope she has a great title run with the Women's Championship. So I thought that was a little weird that, again, we're going into SummerSlam. Ronda Rousey's not there, and that's going to be her opponent for the event, which I'm not too thrilled on either because I feel like that was another fail on WWE's part. How Ronda Rousey was handled, she could have really been a massive heel from the beginning. But when she first debuted, she wanted to be this baby face and she wanted to be loved. And people that know a little bit about wrestling or follow the athletes, they know that she does not like criticism. So that really hindered her, I would say. So that match is going to be interesting. Again, but just Liv and Natty, it was a good match. I think Liv is getting better with her finisher. The finisher she has is a little weak, where she goes off the ropes and falls and pins her opponent. I kind of really liked this time how, I don't know if she's done it in other times, but where she fell off and she pretty mumuch rolled and then jumped on her. I feel like the sequence really went well. It really was a very timed out move, and I think that moving forward, I hope she sticks to that way of doing it, because I like her. I like her finisher. I just think that it could be a little bit more oomph to it, you could say. So, I mean, that's just some constructive criticism. We had the show started. It opened with Pat McAfee, and he was talking about how he's got this history with Baron Corbin, how they used to be on, I believe it was the Colts, the football team, and they were on the same team. And when Baron Corbin came to WWE, he kind of just started doing whatever he could to be noticed and just pretty much be, as Pat McAfee says, a douchebag. Now, I've never been really big on Corbin. I thought his greatest moments was when he was Bum Corbin. Made me actually cheer for the guy, which I didn't think that was possible. So, and then he went into this Happy Corbin thing, did the whole Vegas thing, and now he's getting into it with Pat McAfee. I think, and this is my opinion, I think that this is leading into a Survivor Series match, because you're seeing more Corey Graves in it as well. And I think, because they're doing rival promotions, they like doing that for Survivor Series. I think that we're going to see a Pat McAfee versus Corey Graves, since he has been cleared to wrestle as of, I want to say, like 6 months ago or something. Corey Graves can wrestle. He just hasn't. So I think that might be what they're setting up for, commentator versus commentator, because they're both in the prime of their lives and they can go in the ring. As far as, like I said, the promo itself Pat gave was great. I'm a big Pat McAfee guy. I was I wasn't sure in the beginning, because, you got these celebrities that come in and they think that they just know what they're talking about. But you can tell with him, he really, really does love the business. So you see the passion and you go with it. Like, it feels great. Especially when Shinsuke comes out. Again, he gave a nod to Shinsuke Nakamura, and he absolutely deserves that nod. Shinsuke Nakamura is a star. He is a star that is mistreated in WWE, and I will say that until the day he either wins a championship or leaves the company. I think that is, it's really sad how he doesn't get the credit he deserves. So then they had Theory and Madcap. That match was okay. It wasn't bad. It was a decent match. I'd say probably the best match of the night, which really wasn't saying much, because, like I said, it felt like a really lackluster night, all on its own merit. But I see what they're trying to do with Theory. They're trying to put him in the public face a lot more, especially with the Money in the Bank. I don't think he'll cash in at SummerSlam like he's saying. I think that if anything, and they really want that pop, maybe he'll cash in at the UK event they're doing, where I think that it's going to be Drew McIntyre and Roman. I don't think that Brock is walking away from SummerSlam the winner. I would be very surprised. So maybe we could see a cash in there. So it's kind of cool to see them building a new star in Theory, but there are more people that I would like to see pushed. I would say more that are more up and coming, guys like Riddle. That guy's amazing, but I think this whole Randy Orton thing really hurt him. How Randy Orton's now out of the shelf for, they were saying, I think the rest of the year. They're saying because he'll need surgery, so we might not see him until Rumble time at the earliest. So we'll see if the story progresses when he returns. So then you had Drew McIntyre, Ridge Holland. That match, it's growing thin on me. This whole Drew McIntyre versus the Brawling Brutes. Butch, I like Pete Dunne. I think he's a great wrestler. Butch is a character. He's growing on me. But all in all, this has just become very, very bland with Drew McIntyre and Sheamus. I believe, and this is my personal opinion, when they first fought, that should have been a WrestleMania match because they had the story right there in the palm of their hands. But they they wasted it on, I think, a Monday Night Raw. And then from there, they went on and just did rematch after rematch after rematch. So now you're kind of you're beating the horse again. And it's just one of those things that WWE, I have very hard critic for. I'm a very hard critic for because I don't like repetitiveness, which you don't see that in a lot of other companies, But with WWE, you'll see the same people fight 3 times in a row, or 3 times in a 2-month span. So that's one thing that I'm a little iffy about. I think eventually Drew's going to go over and he will get the championship match, and I think he's going to be the one that wins the title off of whoever wins at SummerSlam between Lesnar and Roman. We had Jimmy Uso. He fought Angelo Dawkins. Now, the thing is with them, I really like what they do when they're a tag team. They put together outstanding matches. So for me, I have no problem with this feud. I think that the feud itself is kind of slow burning, but I think that overall it's a good feud. They're going to put on a great match at SummerSlam. I think the Usos are going to actually end up retaining because I see the Street Profits breaking up. I know there's a lot of talk about Montez Ford being a singles guy. The guy puts in the work. I mean, you can't deny it. The guy puts in the work. So he absolutely deserves it. I don't know where this is going to go with Angelo Dawkins, though, because he doesn't have that quality to him that sticks out. I have a hard time putting my finger on it, but he is not the one that is going to be a star. You can tell Montez Ford. And this might be a controversial opinion. I think he's probably got the best frog splash I've ever seen. I think it's an amazing frog splash. So the match was solid. Angelo Dawkins ended up going over on it again, but I'm an Uso, bloodline, right here. We the ones. So I was cheering for the Usos, but that didn't happen. It's okay though, because like I said, I think that they're gonna win at SummerSlam. They're gonna redeem all these losses that they've been taking to Street Profit, and they're gonna once again put themselves as the #1 tag team in WWE. So that brings me to one of my last things that I wanted to discuss, because you talk about Bloodline and you talk about the main events and you talk about all of the things going on for SummerSlam, but I got a little bit of issue right now. My issue is we're 2 weeks away and you barely see Roman, you barely see Brock. Cena was supposed to be at SummerSlam. He now has obligations for making Peacemaker 2, so he won't be at SummerSlam. Where are these big names? Where are these hype guys that are supposed to be making these big matches? I mean, yeah, you got Paul Heyman there, but the people want to see Roman Reigns. They want to see the Universal Champion. They want to see Brock Lesnar. They want to see those athletes that you pay a lot of money for these wrestling events, especially for the the people that go to the shows like myself. Like, you pay for this, so you want to go and enjoy yourself and say, wow, like that was a really memorable moment. Like, for instance, when I was at the Money in the Bank where Seth Rollins ended up winning it. That was a memorable moment. You want these memorable moments, and the thing is, like, when you got a big pay-per-view coming up, you do everything you can to hype it up. But when you got these guys doing part-time schedules now, and they're your like main attraction, to me, that does not do well for the business. That kind of kills your momentum, and I don't like that. I think that that's horrible, because you got something in Brock Lesnar. You've had it for years now, almost 2 decades. You got something in Roman Reigns, who now has a lighter schedule. But the problem is you're putting way too much into them, whereas they don't have the schedule anymore for that. So I was really disappointed I wanted Roman to win the title at WrestleMania. So when he won the title, I thought we'd have a really definitive champion. But he has barely showed up since winning that title. So it's just, to me, it's a flop. It's a flop idea. So we'll see where it goes. Like I said, this is just like a small review I wanted to do of the event because I was there. I'm going to start doing Mondays and Monday Night Raw, SmackDowns together. So the videos might be a little bit longer for those days, but I don't want to waste your time. So just stay tuned, be patient. We're still getting all the kinks out of putting stuff on YouTube on a weekly basis. And I really hope you guys like, comment, subscribe, do everything you can to boost this channel, because like I said, I am very passionate about what I say. I wouldn't put anything out there that I don't believe in. So that is one of the reasons I wanted to do this too, because so people can get to know me a little bit. So again, this was my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, I felt like this was, if I was to grade it, a 3 out of 10 show, and especially because we got SummerSlam coming up. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review. I will be doing a Rampage review probably in the next couple days. I know it's Friday right now, so I just got back from the Amway watching SmackDown, so I got to go put on Rampage, see how that goes, and I'll give a review for that. But I hope everyone enjoys my reviews, and be easy.